in the middle of a freezing December storm, when everyone was rushing home for warmth, comfort, and Christmas lights. One little girl was walking alone, not because she wanted to, but because life had given her a journey harder than most kids her age. And that night, her life was about to change because of one simple act of kindness. December had settled over Maplewood Town, a quiet American suburb known for its charming streets, Christmas decorations, and the gentle sound of church bells echoing through frosted air. Every house had lights wrapped around the windows, wreaths hanging on doors, and snow piled like white pillows on rooftops. It was the kind of town people described as straight out of a Christmas movie. But not every home in Maplewood felt equally magical. On the edge of town, in a small apartment complex, lived Emma Carter, a 12-year-old girl with a prosthetic leg, the result of a childhood accident she rarely talked about. Her father, Daniel Carter, a disabled single dad who struggled with mobility, raised her alone after an accident at work left him partially wheelchair-bound. Life hadn't been easy for them. Medical bills, long winter nights, not enough money for gifts, and a world that often rushed past them without seeing their pain. Yet Emma carried a quiet strength, the kind of strength children should never have to learn. On the last week before Christmas break, she walked home from school in heavy snow. Her prosthetic leg was hurting more than usual. The cold made the metal stiff, each step sharper than the last. But she kept going. She had no choice. Her dad couldn't pick her up. He couldn't walk long distances, and she didn't want to bother him. Not now. Not when he already carried so much. As Emma reached the downtown area, snow turned into a freezing mixture of rain and wind. Her fingers burned from cold. Her cheeks stung. Her breath came out in shaky clouds. She needed warmth. Just a few minutes inside. Someplace, any place. So she pushed open the door to Hillside Cafe, a popular Christmas-themed coffee shop packed with families, shoppers and couples celebrating the holidays inside. Everything was warm and glowing. Gingerbread smells, soft Christmas music, people laughing over peppermint mochas, bright lights reflecting off ornaments. But there were no seats. Emma quietly walked between tables, hoping someone might notice her and offer a spot, even a corner. But people kept looking past her. A woman shook her head before Emma even finished asking. A young couple pretended not to hear her. Teenagers on laptops barely glanced up. A man pointed toward a chair, but someone else took it before she reached. Emma lowered her head. Being ignored hurts more than being told no. Her leg throbbed so badly she could barely stand as Christmas joy filled the room. Emma felt more invisible than ever. Across the room sat Michael Reeves, a 38-year-old single father, widowed 2 years earlier. He was sharing fries and hot chocolate with his 2 children, Liam, age 10, Ava, age 8. Michael had learned to read people's pain. Life had forced him to. Losing a wife does that to a man. He noticed Emma immediately. The limp, the exhaustion, the quiet, defeated look children shouldn't have. The world was passing her by. He couldn't, so he stood, pulled out a chair at his table, and said gently, "Hey, you can sit with us." "You look freezing, sweetheart." Emma blinked in surprise. Nobody had said something kind to her all day. She nodded slowly and sat, her body sinking into the chair with relief. Ava slid a cookie toward her. Liam grinned and offered fries. Michael ordered hot chocolate with extra whipped cream and set it in front of her. "Warm up," he said. "It's on me." Her eyes softened, but she didn't speak right away, because when you're not used to kindness, it takes time to trust it. For the next few minutes, Emma simply warmed her hands around the cup. The heat traveled into her palms, up her arms, and into her tired heart. Michael didn't ask questions. He didn't push her. He just talked gently with his kids, letting Emma ease into the moment. Eventually, she whispered, "My leg hurts. The cold makes it worse." Michael nodded. He knew pain. "We all have days like that," he said softly. "But you don't have to face them alone." That one sentence cracked something inside her. For the first time that day, she smiled, small, shaky, but real. After a little while, Emma gathered courage and spoke. "My dad. He can't walk well. He's disabled. He tries so hard, but I don't want him to worry. I walk home so he doesn't feel bad." Her voice trembled. "We don't have much. He works from home, but the medical bills, the rent, my treatments. I don't want to make life harder for him." Michael's heart pulled tight. He saw himself in Daniel, a father, fighting quietly for his child. Ava reached out and held Emma's hand. Kids don't need explanations to understand. Sadness, Michael leaned forward. "You're not a burden. You're a child. And your father loves you more than anything. Trust me, I know what that kind of love feels like." Emma wiped her eyes, and for the first time in a long while, she felt understood when Emma tried to stand. Her leg buckled slightly. Michael immediately stood. "No way you're walking in this weather. Come on, I'll drive you home." She hesitated. "Are you sure?" Michael smiled. "Christmas is about helping people, isn't it?" The drive was filled with warmth from the heater, Christmas songs on the radio, and the soft, cheerful chatter of Liam and Ava telling Emma about their New Year plans. Snowflakes fell like silver confetti outside by the time they reached her apartment. Emma was no longer shivering. She was glowing. The front door opened. There stood Daniel Carter, her father sitting in his wheelchair, worry written all over his face. "Emma, sweetheart, you're late." "I was scared something happened." His voice cracked. Michael stepped forward. "Sir," she was struggling in the cold. "We sat together in the cafe, and I brought her home." Daniel's eyes softened with relief, but then they filled with tears. "You didn't have to. People usually don't help us." Michael placed a hand on his shoulder. "Maybe they should." Emma hugged her dad tightly. "Dad, it's okay now." Daniel looked up at Michael again, this time with gratitude deeper than words. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for seeing her when no one else did." Before leaving, Michael said, "If you two ever need anything, even just company, we live 5 minutes away." Daniel nodded. Emotional. Emma waved from the doorway, tears on her cheeks, but these were warm tears, healing tears, the kind only kindness creates. That night, as the Reeves family drove home, Michael whispered to his kids, "If you can help someone, you help. That's what your mom would have wanted." Ava squeezed his hand. Liam nodded. Snowflakes danced around them like blessings from the sky. A few days later, on New Year's Eve, there was a knock at Michael's door. It was Emma and Daniel. Emma held a small box of homemade net cookies. Daniel said, "We wanted to say thank you." Properly. Michael smiled and invited them in. The kids cheered. They watched fireworks together. They shared stories. They laughed. And a lonely girl and her disabled father found something they had lost. Family they didn't know they needed. In a world full of hurry, full of cold nights and colder hearts. Sometimes all someone needs is a seat at your table and a moment of kindness. This winter, be someone's warmth. You never know, it might change their life forever. If this story touched your heart, hit like, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more real, emotional stories that remind us what humanity is all about. See you in the next video, and remember, kindness is never wasted.